All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. It is Transformations, 7 o'clock, just getting started, and I have a couple things in store for you tonight. We are talking emotions and thoughts, so stay tuned. Let me just make sure everything's coming in loud and clear, and if I am, please comment. Thank you for tuning in, and if you've been on the show before, you got some value, you got some insights, you've taken some information for yourself, give a thumbs up. Share this to a friend or a family member you have the conversation of the mind and the body and the spirit and the soul with. And this is how we understand and how we incorporate our pain, and we can turn it into personal power to bring about our purpose and peace in life. How about that? Isn't that interesting? Your body is always talking to you. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. Let me make sure I'm coming in loud and clear. I think I am. Please give me a thumbs up. Say hello. Say something in the chat because that's where I can really see it right now. We're streaming to a number of channels, and I'm blessed to be able to do that. So let's get talking about pain. Get talking about problems and how your body is talking to you. Your subconscious is talking to you. And I have a few slides prepared for you. Make sure we are live, so you're going to see a few things as I get used to hitting all the buttons, make sure I'm in the right place at the right time. But let's talk about this, your body, okay? Now, we have layers around us all over the place. And let me see if I can get myself up. There we are. I say hello to you. And we're going to be talking about how your physical body and the connections to your physical body are related. When you're having pain, there's something that has an intensity, something that has a spark to it, something that has an energy that's causing frustration. And when it shows up somewhere in your physical body, there's a reason for it. Yes, you may have stubbed your toe. Yes, you may have fallen down 20 years ago in an old sports industry injury. Yes, you may have this, that, or the other thing. Yes, there may be some physical reason, an accident, an injury, a fall, a trauma, an emotional thing, a life event. Something may have occurred. The physical body, and let me back up 1 second. Research says that, and this is the kind of thing I want to pull up. But however, what I invite you to consider looking up for yourself, because that's where personal power comes into play, is when you find it for yourself, is that even though there's arthritis, even though there's a breakdown in the physical tissue structures, pain may not be present. In fact, I believe it's in certain psychology research, however, definitely in different neurology research, we're looking at it's the brain that makes a decision to give you pain at the conscious level based on something that's being processed within the subconscious realms of the brain. And so with that being said, there's a purpose to your pain, and your body is telling you, giving you clues. And the reason it's not common knowledge, well, it's because it's about symbols and metaphor and mystery. All right, there's another language in which our body, our subconscious mind, communicates with our physical self, and how it communicates with our mental self, and how we go about decoding that, how we go about interpreting that makes all the difference in the world. See, there's messages and symbols all over the place. Many of them have been so ingrained, and yet we have no conscious knowledge of what that is, yet it is influencing us. Sometimes I wonder when I'm craving a pizza where that comes from. I mean, how many pizza commercials are on TV? It's like a billion. Anyway, let's get back to the material. And where you can find the foundational concepts, and this is something I want to share with you actually, is drkevintransformations.com. You can see the link up top, and that is in the description. And what we're talking about, though, is these topics. All right, I want to show you this little thing will go away here in a second. I want to give you the tour of the topics, and as a gift, I want to make sure everyone has the foundational introduction, and then at the bottom here, the appendix. Those are the two critical moments. But really, in all essence, it's a very inexpensive, less than $10 item. You can get shipped right to your door, and it literally will feed you for the rest of your life as far as personal growth, learning the interconnections of the body, your own body, how it's communicating with yourself. And as we go about getting more and more awareness of ourselves, so I can bring myself in here. as we get more and more awareness of ourselves and how to interpret ourselves, we are reacting and responding in new ways to the people and the situations around us. And when you can have your own, when you have power over your control, dominion over your thoughts. I heard that, I had a conversation this morning, and that was the exact thought: dominion over our thoughts. How do we have regulation over the thoughts? It's like this monkey running around in the mind. And I was introduced to an idea by Dr. Fred Schofield called the monkey mind exercise, and I've taken that and ran with it. And I teach everyone I come in contact with about this, as far as the patients and the clients that I serve and the coaching clients that I serve, is helping them learn to identify the thoughts that are running through the mind, and then how to turn on the ability to regulate. First, interpret, because there's goodness in there. There's messages in there, even the ones that are challenging and difficult and horrible and dramatic and all those things. There's a beauty in there, and there's purpose in there. So let's be real for a moment. Our thoughts, even though sometimes they can get out of control, there's something to learn from it and in it. And part of the journey is learning to discover what it is. And when you can recognize that there's an issue, then you can go about getting it fixed. You can go find a solution, and one that's holistic. I could spend hours, in fact, a seminar, a whole hours sharing the knowledge and information in papers that demonstrate this phenomenon, how it directly correlates to the stress that you're feeling, the weight that's staying on, the toxins, the habits, everything that's going on. And we can shift that energy by shifting thoughts. I mean, I attended a seminar this weekend. I want to give a big shout out to the Corn Specific Technique group, organization, all the people that resonate and come to the seminars. Such high vibe people, such authentic healers. I'm so blessed to be a part of it. And that, by the way, is the inspiration that was born to produce what is called Synergy Solutions. So again, if you're interested in things that I do, and you like the content about the mind and how and getting the understanding between the body, the physical, and the body mental, and the body emotional, and getting your thoughts around how to work with that, and how to free yourself from the trappings that are in that subconscious, from traumas, and getting focused in certain things and the way things are going in the world, and whatever that may be for you. And in fact, it's all of it. I'm here to tell you. Then I invite you to support our channel, support what we're doing with research and helping people understand about the infinite nature and the energetic nature of the human body and what we are as humans. This is well-known, documented science, and it's been hidden. So if you're tired of traditional allopathic approaches right now, there is all other ways. And let me zoom this out so it's easier to see here. One more time, that'll be good right there. And I got to present a second time this weekend on these procedures that we're doing here. And let me show you something. I'm very proud of this. Let me share what I got going on here with you. Oh, let's see if we can get that going, the volume. Excuse me.
What we're going to be talking about in just a second.
Let's start over.
So what I'd like to do first is to get everyone to have an experience right here, right now, of what we're going to be talking about in just a second. So it has a lot to do with rhythm and music and harmony and all that, but I just want to go with clapping. So I want everyone to start clapping.
Life is music, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go a little faster. Just feel it flow, feel the flow. Get the body opened up. Let's get a little noise going. Woo! Hey, dude, we're rocking. All right, thank you. Doesn't that feel good? I know I feel a lot better from that.
I definitely felt a lot of work in my thyroid area, my right jaw, and my left foot that I've been waking up with basically it being a crippled foot.
Definitely some tingling in the third eye area.
I think when you put on the oil, I calm down.
I feel amazing. I've taken so many deep breaths.
All right, so we are energy, and your body contains all of who you are. there are many systems that make up the layers inside of us. We are like an onion, but in some of you may not be aware that the layer of onion is both physical and non-physical. Some of it you can see, some of you cannot see. I'm going to fast forward to a number of slides down here, see if I can find the right ones, and I need some thumbnails right there. There we go. So first and foremost, this is the system known as the central nervous system and some of what's called the peripheral nerves, meaning the branches of the main nerves that regulate and coordinate and direct and influence every function in your body and life. This is not arguable. This is known fact. And the nervous system communicates translates all things, both good and bad in your body. Now, one of the things that we're going to get into is beginning to understand the non-physical anatomy. Okay, so first and foremost, we all recognize that we have our bones, we have our spine, our body balances, we have ligaments, we have muscles and tendons, and there's layer upon layer of things that protect this nervous system, but allow us also to function and move through life. And we live our life through our nervous system, our senses. Now, those are the 5 main senses we've all learned about in school. However, in life, this is how we interpret and do things in life. However, there's more than 50, there's probably like 57, I believe, that last time I know, I've looked into it, maybe 58, but our body is sensing things all the time in different ways that you may not be aware of. So there's just images of who you are and what connects to where. It's a lifetime study. It's a beautiful study. Yet you can get the simple understanding. A simple concept can shape and shift everything that you begin to understand about who you are. See, first, this is the beautiful thing that got me going was, know thyself, heal thyself, doctor. Doctor's teacher, but first you also have to heal yourself. And I had a personal problem with being in pain and being sick, and I could look off a list of things that I had going on in my life, and I was not a healthy individual by any means. And thank goodness I turned it around, and continued to refine the process, because that's beautiful. And I say it for myself, but I say it for anyone else who's also taken on that journey. And we fall off, we get thrown off the horse sometimes, as they say. But just get up, continue to get up on top of the horse. They say you get knocked off 9 times, get up 10. Keep moving forward. And for those that struggle with getting back on the horse, so to speak, there's reasons for that. And so what I did, and what I invite you to consider doing, and this may not be the best solution, but it worked for me, essentially is like connect with someone who's doing it. I mean, I feel like if I can give you like a visual analogy, I like had hooks and I hooked on to people that were successful. I'm like, okay, show me your ways. And it works. I surrounded myself with people that were doing better than me in different ways for different things. It could be cooking. It could be fitness, of course, exercise. It could be mindfulness, meditation. It could be learning a topic. I was into, of course, functional neurology. So I surround myself with people that were masters in functional neurology, or was attracted to situations that led me to people that were significant masters in those realms. And I got to study on there and get down, mentally, got downloads of how to think and apply these knowledge points, and accelerating beyond, excuse me if I'm getting a little loud, accelerating beyond normal classroom time. I learned great from doing and being part of it. There's more than one way of learning. So let's continue here. We have our brain, which is like, there's different organs and parts of the brain, but in general, I'm going to use this analogy a lot, is the conductor of our orchestra, or the brain itself. But then the brain, within the brain, has something that regulates the entire thing, the cerebellum. And our body's connected to everything. Now, what's beautiful here is we see this sensory function, and you can't see my pointer, but the top chart is showing very interesting images. Can I zoom in for you? A little bit. Very interesting images of a slice of a brain, a region of the brain. You can see it on the left-hand side. Let's look at the left-hand side, lower side. You can see the part is highlighted in blue and red. There's a slice of that brain that relates to your physical body for motor and sensory, meaning movement and feeling. That's what it looks like if we're going to graph it out, minus a few body parts. And with that being said, another area right next to this is the emotional connection. And that's what I show in the book. I'm going to show you that here in a second. I believe it's on. Find it really fast. I got to bookmark this so I can tell you where it is exactly. So here it is, page 20. So let me slide up to page 20 there. Pull it back for you. How's the music? Let's turn a little music on. So you got a little something happening in the background, not just me looking for stuff. Yes, we are live. And page 20, here we are coming up to it. I'm going to show you this image right here. All right, we got it right there. But I also describe how this area is directly related to the emotional centers. And they also go to different parts of the body. And let me get out of this image here. So what I'm inviting you to consider, continue to consider, is that the body itself, the physical body itself, is a memory bank. And when the mind gets overwhelmed from doing things, it stores it in the physical body. Now, if I have the other slideshow up, which I do here, I'm going to show you this right here. And here's some of the fans of the book. Love showing this picture. I get people like to send it in. I love it. Let's take a look here. This is the image. It shows, and you can see it on the line. You can see on the back of the body here, the physical line that's associated with what's called the bladder meridian. And this is literally an energy channel on the surface of the skin. It's another component of the nervous system. The body's sensing and sending energy, moving it around. The flow, the chi, the ki. This is all going on in your physical body. And there's a lot of different lines. This is just one, and they overlap and they interact, and they work as a system, as a whole unit. So this is one of the challenges I want to help people overcome, is seeing themselves as a whole, as a being of one. And where we have gone awry in many ways is we've broken it down to the smaller and smaller parts. And now we're down to the smallest. We can only see it with special microscopes, and they're, the atomic and subatomic, and there's even a level that precedes that now. And it gets so small, it's so mechanical, it's missing the bigger point. So we want to go back to wholeness here. And as we want to work on bringing our awareness to different aspects of our life, because I don't know about you, but I'm wanting things to grow and expand and be better, more effective, more efficient, so I can live a more prosperous and happy and wholesome life. I don't know about you, but I put some thought into that. And so the point is, as I began to understand and do the work that I do and help people holistically, naturally, by working with their structure, working with their mind, working with their biochemistry, and finding better and more effective ways, these things would change. And we can see that there's the connections to the physical spine itself and different points on the face and different muscles and different areas to balance. And they have relationships. There's a spinal point right there in the middle, highlighted in orange. There's also questions and metaphor that relates to this information. You can see it on the bottom hand on the left side. So when it comes to the bladder meridian, there's a couple different areas of questions, but here's one right here. Are you misstepping literally or figuratively? Are you misstepping? So I'll tell you what's funny. This is how I started. I was with a couple of my buddies back when I was first learning this stuff. I figured out their poker tells, and they would scratch certain parts of their face at certain times of the game, and I figured out what they were thinking about by where they were scratching on their face. I'm not saying go play poker with your friends and look. I'm scratching right there. That stomach. I'm digesting a thought that came in. Is like, well, better be careful what other people are going to do with this information as far as playing poker with their buddies. Taking all their money. And so, I won like 8 hands in a row. You're like, what's going on? So concepts, perceptions, as I learned these concepts, I began to understand different things. I was able to see new things, learn new, see new ways, and expand the things I worked with and interacted with. And I became like a magician for my friends. They couldn't figure out how I was doing some of this stuff in life. Meaning, and I'll keep it to the poker games we were playing and the card games we were playing. So what I'm getting at, though, but this skill is useful because as we start to look at the human body, go down to the bottom here to the appendix, and this is also when you go to that website, drkevintransformations.com, you get access to the appendix. Okay, I want everyone to have this. Let me zoom out a little bit so it's a little easier to work with. There it is. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a general chart here of body parts, emotions and feelings, and possible symbols. Let me do this a little bit. It's getting a little... How's that? It looks better. All right, so when we go down, I'll scroll down slowly. Look at certain areas of your body. Look at the words. Let's look at neck. I've been handling... there's someone in my life that's got some neck pain, and it flared up over the last couple of days. Now, there's physical reasons for that. And there's a whole strew of different things that we can talk about. Well, that may add up for this person. Though when we get having conversation about the meanings here, try that again. Refusing to see another side of the question. Basically, getting a different opinion from somebody else, and it's difficult to work with, difficult to emotionally digest. Maybe even, mentally digest. Maybe there's such a perception that's so opposite of what you think, so different than what you think, it's difficult to swallow, difficult to see. And there's another phrase from another ancient text. It's been around a long time, and it calls stiff-necked people. And essentially, what that phrase was referring to was that looking down on another, like a snob, snooty, you're better than somebody else, and you have that posture, and it's like you refuse to look at anything else in a different way. We may be holding on to something so strongly in our life, and maybe even a belief about yourself. I'm pointing at me like I'm doing some energy work right now. and probably at the same time in both ways. You've heard the understanding of as above, so below, as within, so without. Life is reflecting. You're seeing what you see because of what you hold. Well, that was good. I need to write that one down. I've never said that before or heard that before. And the point is, when there's intensity in an experience, there's something within to work with. And the people highlight that, and the world highlights that for you, and what you put your time and energy and focus into, and how you respond or react, how you consider, what's the information? Have you had accurate thought? How do you know if you're having accurate thoughts? How do you know if you're finding both sides of arguments, both sides of concerns, both sides of the debate, both sides of the conversation? This is important in life right now. And realize we're all going through life right now. We're all human. We're all figuring out. We're all wanting goodness. Ideally, I think that no matter where you are in the spectrum, we're all looking for good things in our life. We're all wanting things. We're all wanting to find that satisfaction and connection. You're wanting to solve a problem. You want to get out of a situation. Take the action. Now's the time. And how do you do that? Well, the easiest way and the most effective way that I've found is what's called mentorship. Now, depending on who you're hanging around with, that may be a good thing or a bad thing. So that being said, I've surrounded myself with good people, and I've collected people that I vibe with very well, that I highly regard in holistic healing, in the holistic arts, and the holistic sciences. And I have combined using the power of synergy, so to speak. Basically, there's more effort, more effect in teams. Excuse me here. I gotta find that mute button real quick. And we go over, okay, now that you know that you're figuring out how your body's working with physical pain, you're beginning to learn how to measure and understand and decode your physical pain. And that's what the book's all about. So you go to drkevintransformations.com right there, and you get access to this free gift. And when you put your informations in, you'll get offers to go get the whole book itself, plus some other bonuses and things like that. And I highly invite you, and I recommend. I mean, there's so many these photos I got from some colleagues of mine that are professionals, and some patients that recommend. They sent the photos because they love the book. They like the book. They sent the photo because I asked them, if you enjoyed it, send me the photo, because it's like, people want social proof. People want to understand what's going on. And in this program here, Synergy Solutions, what we do here is we facilitate the human body by releasing interference and tension along that nervous system. And there's phenomenal information coming out that is literally blowing people's minds. And depending on where you are, you'll be attracted to this information. And I've asked to have people that attract this information to show up and be here, part of it. And it's an offer to you to go to synergysolutions.com. Check out, basically, it's called Group Quantum Remote Healing. It's weekly. We meet every Wednesday at noon. Put your information in. It's a nominal fee. And I've even developed a way to help people get the care for free by vibing with other people that they already vibe with. That's so beautiful. So happy about it. And so what we're doing is about facilitating people getting beyond what's stuck, how they're stuck, and helping them facilitate and shift that. And then if you really are on the path of personal growth and looking for answers and support and aligning yourself with people that do this from the mind to this body and the spirit and the soul at all those different levels, well, then I have what's called the Winning in Every Situations, seminar. It's every Monday night after this show, because I get warmed up, I get a whole mood about tonight, and I'm sharing knowledge, sharing information. I'm bringing in my coaches and my friends that are phenomenal people that do great healing and have great studies and have great knowledge, and we bring in a collective of information to help people transform. And its foundation is backboned in something that has been around for over 100 years. And Coach Ryan gets on every Monday with me, and we build a library strategy. And anyone who attends every session is getting it for free. And we're packaging it, and have all kinds of other bonuses and offers, essentially to help you become your best version. And all I'm doing is giving the framework that is time tested and now research proved with other things that are happening in the world of quantum. We add in the mind and the study and the component, basically giving you the keys to pick your path, and then teaching you how to drive and how to navigate the road and to facilitate essentially the repairs as you come across the bumps of the road. I love it. So thanks for joining in. I'm Dr. Kevin. This has been Transformations. Your body and your mind work as one unit, and your body, your being, and I didn't get this far, so let me share this a little bit before we close it off today, is I want to show you some of the images of how things go beyond your physical structure. Has a lot to do with energetics of life, and these organs all emit a electromagnetic frequencies and other subtle energy frequencies that go around you in different patterns. And I'm going to pull up an image that's going to demonstrate that. Just a moment here. Here we go. Now I'm looking for the one that it has the most research around it, and it comes from an institute called the HeartMath Institute, and I'm just going to give you a representation right here, essentially. You may have seen images like this. Now I'm looking for something else called the torus or toroidal field. Oh, that's going to block you, so let me get that out of there, and we'll bring myself back here. I'm going to pull that up really quick. Toroidal field, human. Okay, here it is, and I'll pull it right up. There we go. Now there's an artistic rendition There's artistic renditions, and there's going to be an official Heart Math Institute. Here we go. And look at some images here. Here we go. Specifically this one right here. You can see it, this one right here. All this is artistic rendition. This is exactly what they're mapping and seeing in people. And I have different PowerPoints and different slides that have been pulled from international joint operating government experience to demonstrate the phenomena. We are working with it in professional settings, and this is just the beginning of understanding of what we are as human beings and what that really means. It's a beautiful thing. Maybe you've never seen some of this stuff before. I hope that it's a wake up, and learning the laws and the sciences of these fields of the human body, which is directly related to your life and your mind and your health and your functionality and the enjoyments you get and experience. And yes, there's information and there's data and there's lots of stuff going on. But what is the purpose of getting into this? Is that you can heal from the past, you can align with your future, and live in a great and pleasant and happy place. I invite you tonight to join in the Winning in Every Situation seminar, webinar. We're on about an hour. I got to share the link to the coaches, and we'll see how many are joining tonight. But last time we had 5. We had 5 join us. It was such a blessing, and we got into some really amazing conversation. But we got to do that off the socials, and we really get into conversations about the laws of bringing about success in one's life, and how to define that success, and how do we help people break through the limitations and challenges when they get in these roadblocks. And that link is in the description. And if not, go to drkeving.com, and you should be able to get connected to that. Send me a quick message if you don't, and come out in the chat. I'll keep looking before we get started. And what else? What else is going on tonight? Well, with that being said, I'm going to sign off. Every night, every Monday night, 7 o'clock, we go into a piece of the puzzle and understanding more depth of what you are and who you are and how to access that information. I highly recommend getting the free gift, the 2 chapters, and invest the $10, and you can get a copy of that book. Otherwise, join in Synergy Solutions and connect and tune up to access to release the interference so you can access the higher self more beautifully and easily, and ease some of those ascension symptoms people talk about, and get that mind right. Connect yourself to good mentors and mastermind with others in the Winning in Every Situation seminar series, workshop series on Zoom tonight in about 25 minutes. So I'll see you there. Thank you for tuning in, and blessings and best regards. I'm Dr. Kevin.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Kevin Jr. This is the first introductory video in becoming your own healer.